stand up or sit down? Or...
Whatever you would like to do, but I thank you for your time.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Hello, my name is Al Boulder. I'm one of the historical interpreters here at Old Alabama Town. We are sitting in the parlor of the Rose Morris house that was built in 1841 by an old fellow named Hal Rose. It's set about 25 miles north of Montgomery in Coosa County until 1987. We moved the building here to Montgomery. Mr. Rose began buying up land when they began removing the Indians from Alabama in the 1830s, what we refer to in our country's history as the Trail of Tears. And we think this house may have set on close to 1,000 acres. This is the house he built for his family to live in. All of the wood in this building is original to 1841. Look at the floor. It's a hardwood pine floor, and you can see the nails that were made by a blacksmith under the floorboard there. Doors and walls are hand-planed cedar. You still see the plane marks with the hand-planed wood to make the boards. Ceiling and crown molding is also original to the building, and even the fireplace is hand-carved. But it's not marble, it's painted wood. See, they would have had a logistics problem of transporting a marble fireplace over land back in those days. We tend to forget when we talk about this time period that they don't have any semi-trucks running up and down the road. Just mules, ox carts, and wagons. As a matter of fact, we don't really have that many roads. People are traveling mostly over land. Marble fireplace back then would have been too heavy to have been transported to the middle of nowhere where Mr. Rose built his house. So a lot of times you'd have a wealthy fellow having to paint something to make it look a lot more fancier, more valuable than it really was. Now this is also a dog trot style house. Have you ever heard of the term dog trot before?
No, never.
Well, I'm here to tell you. We have 3 of them here at Old Alabama Town. This is the most unusual of the 3. Now, dog trot buildings are purely Southern American architectural phenomena. You don't find them anywhere else in the country but the South. And what happened was, when they were settling here, they were built like a one-room log cabin to live in, one-room shanty, that's what they call shacks back then. And eventually families would get larger. More children might be born, maybe relatives might join them from back east or even from Europe, which is where we were coming from at the time. Instead of tearing the one-room building down and building a bigger building to accommodate a larger family, they would just build another one-room building right next to it. Put a roof over the top of them to join them together, placing the doors so that you'd see a mirrored image of each side every time you open up the door on one side to the other. But they left the ends open on either end so that the dogs could trot in and out of the house. And they just loved their dogs on the southern frontier. Well, we love our dogs today too. And I'm sure the chickens and pigs probably wandered through there as well. But you know what? In all honesty, chicken and pig trot don't sound near cute a story as dog trot. So what they found was, in leaving a breezeway, and that is another name for dog trot, created a natural wind tunnel through the middle of the building. You open up the doors, you raise the windows, whatever breeze is blowing through the middle of the building will blow into your house and into your rooms. That is 19th century air conditioning out there. When you came up, I was sitting out there playing my guitar. And I've got a long sleeve shirt and long pants on. It's probably about 93 degrees with humidity of 110 probably out there, and I haven't broke a sweat yet. It does work, but not like our air conditioning we have today. Thank goodness we do have air conditioning in this building. But if you lived in this house in the 19th century, you'd have done all of your woman's work out there. You'd even slept out there in the summertime. And yeah, they had mosquitoes, they had malaria and yellow fever too. Now, as I said, this is a very unusual dog trot. Usually all they are just the 2 rooms side by side. This one was actually built with an upstairs across the front of the building. That is very, very rare. I've never seen a 2-story dog trot till I came to work here at Old Alabama Town. So we're pretty happy to have this building here. Now what you do to tour this block, you take the blue side of the brochure with the photographs on it and wander around at your leisure. We've got a cotton gin, blacksmith shop, and grist mill, like I said, on this particular block. We've got another rare building here. We've got a plantation office that came from the house on the corner, which is not on the tour. But plantation outbuildings usually don't exist in the 20th century. That's the first one I've ever heard of existing. After the Civil War, most of them were torn down. There was no need for the plantations. The slaves were no longer required to work on the farms. Sharecroppers and tenant farmers became the mode here in the South, and a lot of the buildings fell into disrepair as the plantations went out of business and the land was scarfed up and used for smaller particles of land. And so when we moved the Hagler Plantation house on the corner there to Old Alabama Town, we also removed the little office building that was still left. And it's very rare to find a 19th century outbuilding to an old southern plantation. Now when you're out walking about, first white building with the red trim, there's nothing in it. It's molten south on the map. It's a place for our bluegrass jammers to gather and play when the weather doesn't permit them to stand out here in the dog trot. When I don't have a honey-do list, I come and play. The second one, with the green trellis in the front, is the millinery and dress shop. You can see what the ladies would be wearing in the time period. Now the clothing I am wearing, you would find Rose dressed this way. The only thing I'm lacking is I broke my suspenders the other day. Sat down and the little leather tab broke on it. Getting kind of old, so I got to buy another pair of suspenders. This is typical of a farmer attire. Although Mr. Rose is not considered a farmer, he's considered a planter.
Would you mind turning a circle? I'm getting a picture of your breeches.
Oh.
I noticed that they were a little bit more in the style of the period.
There are buttons to the pants. These are what's called full front trousers. And it's typical of the Amish style pants. Amish, we don't have any Amish in Alabama, but they adopted them in 19th century farming attire. Okay. Now, as I said, Mr. Rose is a planter. That is the upper echelon of the antebellum culture here in the Old South. And the wide-brimmed planters had a wall on the left. Is what Mr. Rose would have on his head when he went outside. Poor farmers and smaller farmers are referred to as yeoman farmers. They do not wear a hat like that. It's strictly a class distinctive item of clothing. In wintertime, I look like I've stepped right out of the pages of Charles Dickens. It's the time period. We have a big misconception of southern frontier brought on by Hollywood that everybody down south wore nothing but buckskins and coonskin caps. Not even Davie Crocket wore that stuff. Sorry. Okay, now I'm going to show you a picture of me and Davie Crocket. If you want to videotape this,
yes, I am.
You'll get a big kick out of it. A few years ago, one of David Crockett's congressional portraits came to the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts. Didn't have cameras back then, so every time he was elected to Congress, he had to pose for a picture. And the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts found out about me, and they were having a children's festival one Saturday while the painting was on display in the gallery. They hired me for 3 hours to play Davie Crocket next to his 1834 portrait of Colonel David Crocket. And as you see, I have to carry the coonskin cap with me, even though I don't wear it.
My goodness, that is, are you sure you have no ancestor blood in you?
No ancestor blood whatsoever. Just one of those jokes the good Lord plays on you.
That's awesome.
I actually make part of my living playing Davie Crocket.
Cool.
Even in Tennessee. The only place I haven't played him yet is the Alamo in San Antonio.
That's where I'm headed for. My son lives in San Antonio and I visit the Alamo.
Check out a film called The Price of Freedom, playing at the IMAX Theater across the area from the Alamo. Have a steak. Still have dreams about one of the best steaks I've had in my life on the Riverwalk there. Mm-hmm. And would you like me to play you a song?
Oh, I would love it.
Okay.
I'm going to step over here.
You check the tuning since we've come inside.
This is a real treat. Thank you so very much.
Oh, no problem. I'm a ham and a half. My mom used to say a ham and a half. I like to say I'm more.
That's okay.
Ham and 3/4 now. We check the tuning real quick. I suffer from gas, guitar acquisition syndrome. And this little thing on the neck stock of the guitar is, I like to call it GPS for guitars. It's an electronic tuner. And since we have come in from the hot outdoors into the air conditioner, although I haven't really turned it down to make it come on properly, it's still a little cooler in this building. Now, I'd like to do a song for you by John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. Now, it's a different kind of song. It's not the Monday Monday or California Dreamin'. It's called Me and My Uncle. It's a cowboy song. Me and my uncle went riding down from Colorado, West Texas bound. We stopped over Santa Fe, part of it being about halfway. Besides, it was the hottest part of the day.
I'm going to come back. I want to go down to the tour.
Yeah, come on in.
Like I said, I'm going to come back.
Okay. Well,
I thought I heard somebody in here.
Well, come on in. Come on in.
No, I got to run down, I'm gonna catch the other tour.
Okay.
The other tour is every half hour?
Huh?
The other tour on that far building is every half an hour?
Every hour,
Every hour?
until 2 o'clock.
That's okay, I got plenty of time.
Last tour. Yes, you got plenty of time.
I don't have to be in San Antonio till Friday.
We stopped over Santa Fe. Thought it would be about halfway. Besides, it was the hottest part of the day. Rode our pony to a stall. Went to a bar, boys. Bought drinks for all. 2 days in the saddle. My body hurt. Being summer, I took off my shirt. Tried to wash off some of that dusty dirt. West Texas cowboys all over town. Gold and silver, they're loaded down. Just in from Roundup, ain't it a shame? So my uncle starts a friendly game. Hello, Jack boys, winner takes the game. From the beginning, Tom started to win. Them Texas cowboys, the medicine. Some say he's cheating. That can't be. That's my uncle. He's as honest as me. Not about as honest as a Denver man can be. One of them cowboys, you know he started to draw. So I grabbed the bottle, slapped him on the jaw. Had to shoot another. Now he won't go home. And in the confusion, Uncle grabbed the gold. We hightailed it down to Mexico. 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 God bless cowboys. God bless gold. God bless my uncle. God bless his soul. He taught me well, boys. Taught me all I know. And then I hate when it happens. He taught me so well, boys. I hate when that happens. Forget the words. Taught me so well that I grabbed the gold. Life left him lying there by the side of the road.
Ooh, very nice.
Getting the words and being interrupted, I guess I got to it.
Great job.
Thank you.